Okay, good morning, everyone. As I promised, I'm going to finish up the last few slides with the explanation. So you can actually refer to this recording to do your tutorials from tomorrow onwards. All right, now this slide says, John, the paid-up capital of MJSB was as follows. 31st December 2017, 1 million. 31st December 2018, 1.5 million. 31st December 2019, 4.5 million. Mr. John owns 80% of the capital, paid-up capital, throughout 2017 to 2019. In 2019, the paid-up capital increased through an allotment of one rights share and one bonus share each. All right? So, this explanation. Now, in 2017, the share capital was 1 million. Out of that, 80% is owned by Mr. John, meaning that Mr. John's share of the shares was 800,000. All right, Mr. John's shares was 800,000. That means he physically paid 800,000 to buy the shares. So there was a physical outflow of cash of 800,000 in 2017. And that is how it is reflected here. The 800,000 is reflected there. All right. Now, in 2018, the share capital of MJSB increased to 1.5 million. It increased to 1.5 million. All right. Meaning that out of this 1.5 million, 80% belongs to Mr. John. So Mr. John has a total shareholdings of 1.2 million. But guys, please understand that the 1.2 million includes the 800,000 that he already has owned. Right, the 1.2 million includes the 800,000 that he already owns in 2017. So what he actually bought is 400,000 of further shares. So in 2018, there was an outflow of an additional 400,000 by Mr. John to buy the shares. And that is what is reflected in your cash outflow. All right, that is what is reflected in your cash outflow. So if you look at it, that 1.2 million is reflected here. All right. Remember, he hasn't sold his 800,000 shares, therefore it's included in this 1.2 million. Now, remember, I told you there was an outflow of 400,000. So if you look at your net assets for 2018 was 1.2 million. Out of this 1.2 million, 800,000 was an outflow that you did last year. So I need to take it out. So my actual outflow for 2018 was only 400,000. And this is what we have already seen here. He actually spent another 400,000 for the shares. Now, in 2019, you have to be a little bit more careful. End of the day, the share capital of MJSB was 4.5 million. How does this 4.5 million consist of? It consists of the original shares in 2018, which was 1.5 million. That was the original shares. All right. The 1.5 million in 2018 was the original shares in 2019. Now, they had a rights issue, 1-to-1 share. So for 1.5 million, the rights issue was another 1.5 million. Now, they also had a bonus share, 1-to-1. So based on your original share of 1.5 million, they issued another 1.5 million bonus share, giving you a total of 4.5 million. That is how you got the 4.5 million. All right. Now, rights issue, you have to buy the shares. It's not given to you. You have to buy the shares. So anyone who takes up the rights issue will have a cash outflow because they're actually buying the shares. Whereas bonus shares is free shares given to you. All right, it's given free. Therefore, there is no cash outflow. So in total, MJSB shares was 4.5 million. Out of that, 80% belongs to Mr. John. So Mr. John now has 3.6 million shares. Mr. John has 3.6 million shares. Out of that, the shares in 2018 was 1.2 million. His right issues was another 1.2 million. And his bonus shares was another 1.2 million. So that's how you get your 3.6 million. So here will be your original shares plus rights issue plus bonus shares. That's how you get your 3.6 million. So 1.2 million is your original shares. Rights issue is another 1.2 million. Bonus shares is another 1.2 million. Now, please remember, bonus shares is free. There is no cash outflow. Bonus shares is free, so there is no cash outflow. So for bonus shares, you will always put 0. You will always put 0. All right, because there is no cash outflow. So bonus shares is 0. Now your rights issue is shares that you have actually bought. So there is a outflow of cash. So the 2,400 that you see here, the 2,400 that you see here consists of your cash outflow. All right, consists of your cash outflow. That's why it's reflected here as 2,400. The 2,400 makes out the original shares of 2018, which was 1.2 million, and the rights issue of ringgit 1.2 million. So in 2019, he actually has an outflow of 1.2 million because he bought that 1.2 million shares. All right, again, we can actually verify this. Your net asset was 2.4 million. Out of it, 1.2 million is what you have incurred in 2017 and 18. So the outflow of this year is actually 1.2 million. It's actually 1.2 million. All right, guys. Now, the next one is Lee started a business in 2017 with a capital of 100,000. In 2019, he injected an additional capital of 60,000. Now, 2017, he started and hold on, guys. Okay, in 2017, he started it as 100,000. 2018, he started it as another 100,000. So in 2018, no additional outflow. In 2019, he increased it by 60,000. So there is an additional outflow of 60,000. So it is now reflected under assets. You will see a section known as business. That's where you put your information in. All right. Now, your next asset, sorry, it's continuing from your capital business. The P&L appropriation account for Mr. Lee's sole proprietor business in 2018 was 280,000. Net profit in 2019 was 80,000. So there was no drawings. So in 2018, you made a net profit of 280,000. So from 2017 to 2018, there is an incremental outflow of outflow of cash. All right. So your net asset in 2018, including your profit, was 380,000. All right. Out of these 380,000, 100,000 was invested as your share capital in 2017. So it's not an outflow in 2018. So the outflow in 2018 is your portion of profit, 280,000. All right. Now, in 2019, remember you increase your share capital by 60,000 and your profit for that year was 80,000. Profit for that year was 80,000. So there is an incremental of asset by 80,000. So your profit and loss account now is 360,000. So your net asset now is 520,000. Out of this 520,000, you have incurred 380,000 in 2017 as well as 2018. So your total outflow of cash for 2019 is 140,000, which consists of the 60,000 additional capital and the 80,000 of your profit and loss account. All right, guys. Next, Ramly Food started with a capital of 100,000 and balance in profit and loss submitted to IRB was 60,000, 70,000 and 80,000 for the year ended 31st December 2017, 18 and 19. Drawings accounts balance was 45,000, 50,000 and 60,000 respectively. All right. All right. Now, You had a share capital of 100,000 for each year. All right. Now, the profit and loss account as stated was 60, 70, and 80. You had a drawings of 45, 50, and 60. All right. Okay, so that means in 2017, your assets, total assets was 115,000. 2018, your assets increased to 120,000. So you see there is an additional outflow of cash of 5,000. Where did this 5,000 come from? You had an increase in profit by 10,000 plus an increase in drawings by 5,000. So if you net off these two, 10,000 minus, so profit increase by 10,000. Drawings increase by 5,000. So that means there is a net outflow of cash by 5,000. This is what is reflected here. All right. Now in 2018, you had 120,000. All right. Now, last year also 120,000. This year also 120,000. So no increase or decrease in assets. Let's look at it. This is 2018. This is 2019. Profit increased by 10,000. Drawings increased by 10,000. So it balanced out. Whatever profit you made, you took it out. So there is a balance of inflow and outflow of cash. Therefore, no net outflow of cash as reflected here. All right, guys. Okay. Next one. Mr. Gan gave an interest-free loan to his sister of 200,000 in May 2012. She paid 10,000 per month to Mr. Gan commencing January 2014. Okay, guys. Oh, sorry, I missed out one slide. Mr. Lee's capital contribution to a partnership in 2014 was 50,000. In 2019, the partnership valued at 500,000 was converted into a Sendirian Berhad. He was issued 250,000 ordinary shares. Okay, now the partnership, when he invested in the partnership, he put in a capital of 50,000. In 2018, the partnership still exists and he put in 50,000. Now in 2019, he changed that partnership into a Sdn Bhd. So the partnership now no longer exists. So you have to reflect a 0 now. Now, please be very careful. He invested 50,000 in the partnership. Now, when he changed it to a Sdn Bhd, the partnership was valued at 250,000. Remember, from the very start, I told you all, it always has to be reflected at cost. You cannot reflect it at market value. So although the partnership was at market value of 250,000, you have to reflect it at cost. So the cost of the partnership was only 50,000. The cost of the partnership was only 50,000. Although when he converted it to a Sdn Bhd, the value of the partnership was 250,000. He was given 250,000 shares. So these shares were given to him for his investment in the partnership. These shares was given to him in his investment to the partnership. So how much did he invest in the partnership? He only invested 50,000 in the partnership. So although 250,000 shares were given to him, he did not buy the 250,000 shares at $1 each. He did not. He did not buy the 250,000 shares for $1 each. He was given the 250,000 shares for the 50,000 that he invested in the partnership. That means he only invested 50,000. For that 50,000, he was given the 250,000 shares. So be very, very careful, guys. When you read the question, see whether he actually bought the shares at $1 each, or was he given the shares in return for his investment in the partnership or sole proprietor. All right. So in this case, he did not buy the shares at $1 each. He was given the 250,000 shares for his investment in the partnership. So the value of the 250,000 shares was, his outflow was only 50,000. His outflow was only 50,000. All right, guys. Now the final one, Mr. Gunn gave an interest-free loan to his sister for 200,000 in May 2012. He paid 10,000 per month to Mr. Gunn commencing 2014. All right. So 200,000 in 2012, 200,000 in 2013 because she didn't pay anything. All right. And in 2014, she started paying 10,000 each. So the repayment of the loan, 10,000 times by 12, she paid 120,000 of the loan. She paid 120,000 of the loan. So balance of the loan is 80,000. Balance of the loan is 80,000. So your net asset in 2012 was 200,000, 213, 200,000, 214, 80,000. Now, if you look at your increase and decrease, that means your outflow or inflow of cash. 2013, there is no outflow or inflow of cash because she did not pay anything. But 2014, your net asset has gone down to 80,000. All right. Now, out of this 80,000, there was an outflow from 2007, 2012 and 13 of 200,000, giving you a decrease in net asset of 120,000. This decrease shows that there has been an inflow of cash of 120,000. A decrease in your asset shows an inflow of cash. An increase in your net asset shows an outflow of cash. So here there is an inflow of cash of 120,000, and that is of course because of the repayment of 120,000. Again, guys, do not show the repayment under expenses or any other place. It will automatically be reflected here. All right, guys? Okay, I have actually completed all the slides. So I hope this is helpful to y'all for y'all to start doing your tutorials from tomorrow onwards. Now, if you guys have any doubts, feel free to come and ask me or your tutors for explanation. All right, thank you so much.